Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Hakim Grizzle. Channel live and direct, BDP, all day, every day. All we do is spark madism. Got the green screen reflected off my shirt. I don't know what's going on here, But, yeah. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yo,
good.
man. I'm me off top. Let you know. Let everybody know. When I get my tooth fixed, I'm gonna be a problem. Wait till I get my front tooth right.
Oh man, well
you ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing, right?
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll
got
see.
My little chiclet, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's a staple though. That's a staple.
Tell me something.
Yeah. Well, need some luck.
Woo!
Yeah.
That little chiclet right there. That little.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Because my grill is kind of right, so you get to that one right there.
Yeah.
And my shit, I be like, you see me, I be like this and shit.
It's all good though. It's all good.
Oh. Hey man, what you gonna do? But yeah, this is IZM Sports on the IZM TV platform. This is your boy Hakim Green. I got the homie Wes Henderson holding it down for us out there in H-Town, Houston. Tell them what it is.
H-Town was a beautiful day today. It
is, yeah.
70
degrees, 80 degrees.
75, just nice. It wasn't hot. It was just a nice day.
Because last week, it was like 75, 81 day, and the next day was like 20?
No, not last week. Last week it was like cold in the morning. Like in the 50s in the morning, but about 80 in the afternoon. So yeah. But it's all good.
Yeah, man. It's all good. So yeah, man, lots happened over the last week. Before we get to the sports, let me just let everybody know, 420 was a couple days ago. And, around here in Madison world, 420 is a very big day for us. So we celebrated by dropping the single, The Cypher, featuring KRS-One on 420. It's on your iTunes, Apple, Amazon, all your favorite streaming platforms. But I'm going to encourage everybody out there in Madison world to please go to Apple or Amazon and buy the single, 99 cents a download. I get all the money. Thanks to my fine people over at Media Famous Distribution. All the money comes back to me directly. We eliminated the middleman. So when you support IZM, when you support Hakim Green, you're supporting us directly. So I want to encourage everybody to go to Apple or Amazon, look up The Cypher featuring KRS-One, dropped 2 days ago. Please go purchase that. I'm going to play a song as we're inviting folks to the stream. You know how we do. I'm going to do that right now. So that's what happened for us over the last week, Mr. Wesley Henderson. Big week for us over here at Madison World, Madison TV, IZM Cypher, and you know the rest.
We're keeping it moving.
Building, steadily building. So with that said, I'm gonna put up the joint, the Cypher. We're gonna invite people to the stream so we have a nice, lively comment section this week. And yeah, we're gonna do what we do. All right, here we go.
This stuff is really fresh.
It's called the Cypher.
What is a cypher?
What's it called? It's called the Cypher. It's called the Cypher. We can build a cipher. Destroy. The cipher is a circle with all points connected. When you get your boogie off and the weak get disrespected. The cipher is so sacred, takes place on hollow ground. B-boys seek the battle on a mission to follow sound. Beatbox DJ banging on the table is the way we settle beef since the days of Cain and Abel. Axe Pop Master Fable, the jams at DMC with DJs battle for world supremacy. The cipher's not always round, but always on the square. Breakers be on the ground, but I'm gonna put the weed in the air. The cipher's like the wheels of steel and scratch, it makes me itch. I get hyper with the lyrical skills when the DJ catch my pitch. When the fader's being switched, everything live in the mix, but still off the cut like I wear it on my wrist.
What is a cipher? What is a cipher? The cipher, the cryptic writer, the mind igniter. I'm a rhymer designer, a line after line of rhymer. See, I'm an 80s rhymer, the crazy kind of you can't phase me rhymer. I write raw shit like I'm writing on baby diapers. I blaze these ciphers with basic shit. Savage, I'm on that kill for 8 type shit. Hit after hit, all classics, spit in the grit. You talk that hickory dick, you getting lickety split. This what you get, you ain't taking nothing from me. The goat that steps to KRS is the goat that's getting curry. Brain matter, I'm the original face slapper. It's been so many years, you must have forgot we used to chase rappers. Now I'm bust on these nappy headed hoes, I must. You ain't bad boy, talk big, get your eye popped. That fake shit's not us, you know how fresh Chris is. Career killer, I write death sentences. Hey, 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 yo, what is a cipher? Hey, hey, yo, what is a cipher? What is a cipher? What is a cipher? What is a cipher?
Time is of the essence, every breath another second. I'm down by martial law, fighting through the game like Tekken. I ain't be got no weapon when I camel walk like Johnny. Ringing bells when I rock the mic is poison like I'm Ronnie. Bob and weave through the dish and pull off in a new edition. Rapping is fundamental, whack MCs be steady riffing. I just stay in my lane when I'm on a scout like Kiffin. Look for volunteers when there's a drought, I'm in the kitchen. Cooking up some special treats, not talking trout when I'm fishing. I cruise through a hunt with heavy clout when I'm on a mission. I'm special with the verse, every line in education. While y'all wrestle with the verse, I rhyme in meditation. Standing on one leg, balanced on a lotus, but still packed an eye for judgmental niggas who ain't the SCOTUS. You can roll with this when you done past the lighter. Rhymes going counterclockwise around the cipher.
What is a cipher? What is a cipher? What is a cipher?
Yeah, that is The Cipher by Hakim Green, featuring KRS-One, produced by Ron Ron Lawrence. Dropped 2 days ago on 420, available on Apple, Amazon, all your favorite streaming platforms. That's how we doing it. That's The Cipher. Please support. KG, what up, brother?
What's up? Oh, you got my homie Ron Lawrence to do that for you?
Oh yeah. We got a whole album in the works. The album is called Aubrey. It's gonna drop in July.
Okay,
and, that's one of the joints, entirely produced by Ron Lawrence. And
Ron Lawrence used to be my neighbor up here in West Orange.
Oh yeah.
Now he's down there with you, right?
Yeah. Now we've been talking about it for your name come up, a lot, because definitely the respect that you have around the world of hip hop is like it's next level. So in my discussions with Ron, you're just one of the names that always come up. And when he saw you got down with the Madison Sports,
much love for Ron. Ron's a dope producer. Like I said, I mean, we shared the production and the music in common, and also our kids went to school together too for a minute up here.
Oh wow, it's like that. Yeah. Yep. Good brother. So yeah, we pushing it forward, we keeping it moving, and that's The Cipher, and here we are. But this is Madison Sports, the number one platform for sports.
What's going on, Kay?
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So. Let's just hop right in, gentlemen. I know Wes sent me over a list of topics that serve as the lineup.
I want to backpedal because last week we just. I just want to say really one thing real quick because I always like to make sure KG know I'll be paying attention. I think there was some type of get together with the golfers in Toronto. And Kay made sure he let us know that all types of guys out there, so and so, and Franco Harris. You always got to get a stealer in there. So I just want to let him know I heard him. I heard that Franco Harris reference. So it's all good though. We love Franco.
Yeah. Actually, you know what though? Like Franco tried to turn me off though. I saw Franco at another event one time, man. And I asked Franco for a picture, man. And he kind of like stiff armed me, and after that, he kind of
word.
Yeah,
word.
Man. Yeah,
so you don't wear the Franco Harris jersey?
I'm like, come on, Franco, man.
So you don't wear the Franco Harris jersey?
Nah, I shelved it for a minute, man.
That's crazy.
I might pull it out one day, but right now I shelved it, man.
Oh
Wow,
man,
that's crazy. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Steeler
Nah,
fans.
it's all good. I was just teasing Kay. That's all.
Yeah, man. So, at the top of your lineup, Wes, you got social issues,
Yeah, I mean, we'd be remiss if we didn't just like hit that, before we even get into the sports aspect of everything that's been going on. So, and actually some of it involves some, athletes anyway. So it all kind of can transition in what we're going to try to do today.
Yeah.
But, from the social issue, been listening to a lot of the, just things going on in our communities based on, the verdict that came out the other day. And, I don't know about you fellas, but just from my perspective, you feel a sense of, okay, you exhale slightly, but the celebration part for me wasn't really there because it's really nothing to celebrate when a man is still dead. And then the fact that, we have the police original report being off base. We find that out now. And the young lady didn't take the video, we wouldn't even got this verdict. And then when they kind of try to pacify it as if, okay, you got the verdict, or maybe he didn't do it. The thing is, the video shows everything, but just the seed of doubt just keeps a sour taste in your mouth that is really more to this than just this man resting in peace and getting some type of vindication for his death and his family having peace at the end of the day. So, I just wanted to chime you guys and feel free to jump in on that.
Yeah, Kay, you first.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, Wes said it, eloquently, man. Like at the end of the day, man, it's it's a step in the right direction, but we got a lot more work to do, man. Like, you definitely want to, celebrate it, but then again, at the same time, you don't because you sell and almost in a sense, you almost feel like, dag, like he shouldn't have died, like not like that, and then you just feel like too that it was a struggle just to no matter what and however it feels, it almost through the history of all of this stuff, it just feels like and looks like it was a struggle to get that no matter what. You've seen too many times where you had footage and it's clear as day and people still walked away. So I was actually sitting there watching that and I wouldn't have been surprised if it went another way, to be honest. I mean, because we've seen it too many times and we've seen it over and over and over again. And, for it to happen is, like I said, is a step in the right direction, but we got a lot more work to do, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to take a different position in this conversation, not contrary to what you guys said, but just as a further build. And that's the role of the athlete, the professional athlete, African-American athlete. And then someone made the comment on TV this week that if it wasn't for how popular the African-American athlete is in America, African-Americans as a group would be a lot farther behind in terms of how we're treated and how we're perceived. Like, when you look at all the greats throughout history, that, people go, well, you're not really black. You're not really black. Well, you're different. If you're Michael Jordan, if you're LeBron James, if you're Kobe Bryant, if you're Shaquille O'Neal, you get a certain acceptance and entree to circles that over time helps other communities open up to African Americans
and understand this
and seek to understand this, right?
And to be honest, I mean, even for us musicians, man, like
that's right.
Think of way back in the days with our, our jazz artists and all of the older artists that back then, it was segregated, but they still came and saw them, performing and all of that stuff, so music played a big part as well, and I'm not even talking about hip hop. This is way before hip hop, I'm just talking in general.
The entertainer and the celebrity, because of whatever gift they have, when they're recognized in the white community, white people tend to look at them differently than they look at the rest of the black community. And there's a whole psychology around that because there's the idea of ownership. There's an idea of, you're seeing somebody every single day on your favorite team and you feel like you own them, you control them. They're part of your family, your extended family in a sense, even though they might be of a different race or different culture or what have you.
Right. And even from a neighborhood standpoint, it's like if they know, you may play sports or do music or whatever, they look at you like, okay, you you belong here, but not you.
Right. So in that same breath, to see a LeBron James, to see, Muhammad Ali, Colin Kaepernick, but then there are so many athletes, the Jalen Roses, what the Buccaneers staff and team is doing is amazing. Like there's a lot of people on the ground who are using their celebrity and their influence as athletes and celebrities, entertainers, to push the bar, to push the messaging. So when you see the backlash, i.e. Brett Favre, right? I'm gonna get bridge over to Brett Favre.
Absolutely.
Using his voice as a celebrity to try to dampen the voices of others. It's just disheartening and disappointing. And you kind of see where people stand. Like Brett Favre, we hoped you weren't a racist all these years, but lo and behold, you're a racist. Yeah. So add on.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, if we got more high tech in terms of our technology skills on this show, even, and we tried to go back when the Floyd situation happened, like if we rewind to last year, last May, there were several African American sports people that have a voice that said verbatim, a protest is not enough. Like, let's see where these brothers gonna go with this. And actually, a protest was enough, Right. So, and I remember hearing that and saying to myself, these guys have, made a stand, and they didn't want to play. They got criticized. You got Kaepernick kneeling, criticized, and these are all silent protests and nonviolent protests. But they were viewed as something totally different. And now today, here we are. We fast forward. And those silent protests, people heard them. People actually heard them. They kept the momentum going by doing the things that they did and bringing awareness. The WNBA, the NBA, the NFL getting involved, even Major League Baseball getting involved. All these teams. I mean, hockey got involved. Soccer. They were all teaming up together, and no one could stop the momentum. So the reason why they're doing it, because people are starting to hear these voices. And they're starting to understand. So hats off to the players, the athletes, and it's not about shut up and dribble. These guys actually do make a valid point, and they make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I applaud all the athletes out there using their voice and their platform to push for social justice and equality, and black, white doesn't make a difference. Gay, straight doesn't make a difference. We all in this together, and we all have to be treated as equals,
And it's going to take all of us, man. It's not just us. It's not, out here that's, the oppressed or whatever, however you want to word it or put it, it's not going to take one race, one size, one creed, one color, one age. It's going to take the majority of us to realize what's wrong is wrong and stand up for what's right.
Yeah, totally.
Like even LeBron today. I mean, I give LeBron credit because LeBron is setting an example that we don't get on their side, right? So he made a mistake. He didn't see the video of what happened. And what they do is they take a piece of something and it applies to everybody. He did exactly the same thing, but he came back and backtracked and said, you know what? That's not all police. That's not that. I want to take that statement back. I want to take that tweet down. Because he knew that he saw the substance of the video and was like, I can't, this is not the same thing. And we're able to make separation and get and give other people the benefit of the doubt because they're just people and people make mistakes. But we don't get that same benefit of the doubt because the three of us are all still black at the end of the day to them. We're just still black guys, and we don't get the benefit of the doubt with anything that we do. So I was proud of him to make a statement fast, backtrack, and he was accountable. He apologized for what he did, and that's all we ask is accountability. And
that's all. That's what he tweeted the first day, when the verdict came down. Just accountability. And he was accountable for. So I mean, we know, man. Like at the end of the day, man. Like I said, what's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. I don't care if it's a black person doing something to a black.
Absolutely.
If you're wrong,
you're wrong. That's it.
And nobody's going to sit here and take up for that black person just because,
they're black.
They're black. Like, no, you're wrong. It don't matter.
Yeah.
just to expand on that, Wes, I think that's a really great point in analysis in terms of LeBron as a quote unquote leader. And, I think one of the most significant signs of leadership is someone who can accept when they're wrong and come out and be accountable to being wrong and say, I'm wrong, and then look to rectify their, and you don't see that from, most people, be they athletes, politicians, parents, children, like the embracing, I was wrong, like immediately, not be defensive. Now there are other athletes, KD, who are in the wrong, and then you see them juggle, like you just can't embrace, you know what? I'm human. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, there's always a defense of why I was wrong. And
when you admit that you're wrong, you can come back, right? Yeah. And you can rebuild, right? That's what happens. It may take a little time, but the fact that you own something, you rebuild. And let's just be honest. That's why we have the problem we have for the last 400 years, because we can't get accountability. We just can't get accountability, and accountability and ownership would clear this whole thing up. Mm-hmm. Because that's the starting point. The real starting point is accountability and ownership. But since we can't get that, this is where we are. It's a fight to hide the truth, right? So accountability is not the truth. Right. I mean, accountability is the truth. They don't want it is the truth. They don't want to be accountable. Well, that's just the bottom line.
Now again, further to the point is that the accountability that we seek from a LeBron James as a private citizen, as an individual, right? We should expect more accountability from public, like people who are hired to do something. And that's the thing where we see law enforcement make a mistake, open mistake. And this angle, well, if they would have did this, if they would have did that. And it's always a defense of why you made a mistake.
Yeah.
Without embracing
there's never like a benefit of the doubt. Like even when you listen, George Floyd shouldn't be dead. That's the first thing, right? Let's just make that clear. There's no reason that he should have died for a situation with a counterfeit $20 bill. I just asked somebody the other day, I said, not that this has anything to do with anything, but they wanted to immediately call him a criminal because of the counterfeit $20 bill, saying he was trying to pass it off. Isn't it possible that he could have been given that $20 bill from someone else? Is that not a possibility?
It's very much. It's very, very, very highly. It's highly likable, and it's very possible. Who knows?
I mean,
maybe not, but it doesn't.
It doesn't warrant death. It doesn't warrant death.
Warrant that.
No, it doesn't.
Counterfeit 20. Come on, man.
No, it doesn't warrant death.
I mean, even with what's his name? Dante. What's the young cat out of Minnesota?
Yeah, is it Dante Wright?
Dante Wright.
Yeah.
Like even him. Like I don't care what. Like for for a parking ticket or whatever it may be, it doesn't warrant that, man. It's not like it just doesn't, man.
It doesn't warrant death,
man. I don't care, man. I can see, like, listen, man. You can be, if you out here and you brandishing guns or you in a shootout or you doing something crazy, none of us gonna sit up here and say, you know what, yo, that was wrong. None of us. But yo, getting pulled over for a air freshener hanging from your thing or a license and then end up being dead, like that I don't care what, like it just doesn't make sense, man.
It doesn't.
Yeah. So on that note, I think we're all in agreement that there's a lot of changes that need to be made,
Absolutely.
And, we're just glad that we have, sports and athletics as a platform to be able to voice these, opinions and,
Yep.
So with that said, let's move on to the NFL draft, and we're probably going to get to more of the. He's trying to do something, but again, now Justin Fields is, he's epileptic and forget his. What do you call it? HIPAA. Forget the HIPAA laws and privacy of, your medical condition. There's whole laws dedicated to protecting your private medical situation. Like that's private. Somebody just leaked it and now it's out in the open. And why do you think that is?
The same reason why they haven't told you that Mac Jones has 2 DUIs. Same thing. So that didn't leak yet, but it's there. Look it up. So, but anyway, we'll just. But my point is, it doesn't make much sense for people to stop playing football at the same time, and people's stock goes up, and then people's stock goes down, and they haven't played a game since. They all stopped playing at the same time. It just doesn't match up. Like even when you look at Trey Lance, he's played 17 games. Mac Jones has played 17 games. And the argument that I really want to make about Trey Lance that no one is really bringing up, and I've heard no one say it, but it's sitting right there in front of you to compare. If you want to compare something, they were saying how Mac Jones plays for Alabama, so it's better competition, right? Trey Lance, but
yeah, but that's
Carson Wentz.
Really, who's there to really say that though? Like
absolutely,
like they pick those games. Like who's if Alabama's blowing people out by 50 points? Is that really better competition?
It doesn't matter if you have everybody at every position a pro. Like he has the pro offensive line. He has a pro running back. He has 2 pro receivers. First, these are all guys going in the first round, right? This is what Alabama has. My point is Carson Wentz came from that same type of tree. He was at the school before Trey Lance. So why was that never an issue for Carson Wentz?
I want to add something to that Alabama statement too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like historically, Alabama produces horrible pro quarterbacks.
Very true.
Matt Jones coming out of Alabama relative to how Alabama quarterbacks do in the pros, he shouldn't be a high draft pick at all because you name somebody who did exceptionally well coming out of Alabama.
I don't believe in Mac Jones. Like I just like that. Whoever they take him high, that's gonna be a mistake. Like that's
his
how
ceiling
I feel.
is already reached.
I mean,
done. With Tua, what's Tua doing? Give me some other Alabama quarterbacks that made any noise in the NFL.
I couldn't even tell you now.
Right. But we're going to just assume that this person, and all these quarterbacks excel. They're all national champions, Heisman, played in the game if they didn't win it, put up numbers, all that, wins. Alabama goes undefeated every year, get to the NFL, and then what?
Yeah.
I just don't like. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm with you on that. Trey Lance has a dynamic ability. And basically,
don't name it.
He did go to Alabama. That's true.
Big shout out to Renata Witten for that tidbit. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Well, I mean, a lot of people argue Joe Namath wasn't that good. He won, but he wasn't like that. So
Joe Namath threw for 12,000 yards.
Saying that he was a great quarterback, like
12,000 passing yards.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay.
He did that. That's
a great Joe Namath. There you go.
Right,
yeah.
Broadway Joe.
Broadway Joe.
But that's what we at with. So okay, let's go further. Let's go deep into this draft.
Yeah.
Who's the favorites go first? We already know it's gonna be Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Lawrence. And what's your opinion on Lawrence overall? Do you expect big things from him? Or do you think he's gonna, improve?
I don't have a negative thought about him. I just don't. But I don't have one. I don't think he's gonna jump off the charts either. I think he's just gonna be a decent quarterback, but he's gonna get every opportunity to be successful throughout his career. That's what I think. I don't have he's good. He can throw the ball. He's not a bad quarterback. We'll see what happens in Jacksonville. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He can run too. He can run. I like Lawrence. I think he's gonna be okay. I mean, he ain't going. I just don't know. They don't have a squad in Jacksonville, so it's going to take them a minute. So
yeah, I mean, Urban Meyer, he's he's never played, he's never coached in the pros, but he's just. Did he? Has he? No, he never coached the pros, right?
No.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just Jacksonville, Florida, getting talent to come there. I think people want to play there.
I think people want to play for Urban Meyer. Absolutely.
I think eventually, and the Florida side plays a big part of it as well. So, I mean, we'll see, because we did have a lot of people run out of that culture of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, who knows? We had a lot of people who want to get out of there. So,
but I think there was Tom Coughlin that was running people out of town, but he's not. I don't think he's a.
No, they got rid of him. Years ago. Yeah, New York Giants. Tom Coughlin, yeah. So
I don't know much about the Brigham Young quarterback. I just know he's gonna go number 2 to the Jets. That's what everybody's saying, but I don't know a lot about him. Zach Wilson. I hear good things, but again, he's one of those guys whose stock went up after the season ended. So we don't know why that was, but I do like that Oregon tackle though. Penny Sewell, I think his name is. He's impressive. Like that left tackle. I like Najee Harris. They were talking about the Steelers might take a shot at him. That would be a good pickup for you too. Najee Harris is the real deal.
I'm hoping that he get to us, man, and I hope we take him too.
Yeah, he's a good pick. I mean, he's the real deal. Everybody's talking about this tight end.
They're two receivers. The two receivers, Waddle and whatchamacallit. Those two for Alabama are going to be good picks.
Oh, Smith and Waddle? Yeah, Smith and Waddle.
Yeah, Deontay Smith and Waddle. They're going to be two good, tough guys.
Yeah. But the sleeper is that other receiver from LSU that took off last year that didn't play.
Yeah.
He's nice.
Yeah.
You also mentioned Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts.
From Florida. Yeah. So, Cowboys, what's Cowboys doing, Wes?
Man, you know what? I'm just gonna fall in line with Jerry's nonsense. And if Kyle Pitts is there at 10, no, I gotta go get him. The heck with the defense.
You really think like everybody's trying to push him? Everybody's pushing him to get Kyle Pitts, but I know. You don't need it. You need defense. But
Patrick Surtain, man, that's what I really want.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying that he need to get, but. It's almost feeling like Jerry's out here pushing Kyle Pitts, man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's tight end, all-star tight end, all-pro tight end is kind of a tradition in Dallas.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He got his Emmett, he got his Troy, he got his Irvin, and now he did his Witten.
He had his Emmett.
Yeah, he had his Emmett. Yeah, that's
he had
we don't know what Zeke is doing now.
Defense out there, man. Like you're gonna have to stop somebody too.
Yeah,
man.
no, you're right. It's to me, it's Surtain or J.C. Horn. Those are the two that we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let me see where we at now.
The NBA.
I need Najee Harris, man.
Need a quarterback too, but we will go. That's another story.
Ooh, yeah, Pittsburgh definitely need a quarterback.
We could shoot. Maybe Trey Lance will fall down to us second.
That's a lot of falling.
I'll take that. I'll take Najee and Trey.
So we y'all at what pick y'all got, Kay? What's Pittsburgh?
Like 20-something.
I think it's 22.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, it's not good. All right, so NBA. Who we got for MVP?
Well, that's a good question because I sent you something yesterday because I was having a conversation with another buddy of mine about we were talking about Steph, and I had to clear the air on Steph Curry, right? I had to clear the air because everybody thinks they misread what I'm telling people about him. This is what I always said: Steph Curry is the greatest shooter ever. There's never been a question about that, right? My only problem with Steph is that they got him better than people when he has deficiencies defensively, right? So that's a big problem for me. And he's a jump shooter. And it's like, okay, he's a jump shooter. He's the greatest shooter I've seen. But as a point guard, when you're talking about making people better, who's he making better on that Golden State? Steph gets his points, right? Like, remember when Kobe got his points back in the day? Everybody was saying how selfish he was, just getting 40 a game. Everybody's like, oh, he's selfish. He wasn't making nobody better. Steph is doing the same exact thing. His team hovered around 500. They were getting the 7th or 8th seed in the playoffs, and they were telling me Kobe couldn't be MVP. Why are we even mentioning Steph as MVP when they are 7th or 8th seed? So stop it. That's what I want to say. Stop that. That kind of talk.
Ain't they in like 10th place?
They're like 10th right now. Yeah.
They're in 10th place.
Yeah. So I sent Hawk some numbers from somebody else for the last 15 games. 13 triple doubles in 15 games. But since we don't like him, he's not a popular guy, and we think he's this and that, he doesn't get the pub. And he's in the 10th place in the playoffs on the Eastern side.
Exactly. And they up and coming. They on their way coming. I'm sure. Hey, listen, man. Them two cats can win a game, a one-game playing game. Man.
Hill and Westbrook can win a series for you. Period.
Yeah.
They can
Especially a one-game series.
Yeah,
like
one
game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But overall, I still think that now that Embiid is healthy again and he's picking up where he left off, he's got to be right back at the top of the list to me. And Joker is a 2-man race right now for me. It's Joker and Embiid. Those are the two people.
And Joker now with Murray being out can catapult him as well, because
absolutely,
the fact that he don't have Murray, and if he can continue to get them to get some, continue to win and get some W's, and he continue to put up numbers, he'll have a strong case as well. Yeah, I like Embiid right now, though.
Me too. I like Embiid.
I like Embiid.
Yeah, I like Embiid. I just think it's embarrassing, even you can't say Steph Curry as an MVP when you were A seed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can't do that.
And it's not like he was doing he's been on a tear right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now. So you can say that right now he's trending in the right direction, but you can't just jump him up there to the top, to the upper echelons, not with the MB. You can't even James Harden's still up there. I mean, even though he's been hurt, James Harden would still be sitting above Steph at this point.
Because James Harden and Embiid were at a high level, injury put him down, and when Embiid came back, he's back at that high level. Steph he's been peaks and valleys all season.
Yeah,
I mean all season. So it's just, and it's not hating on the man. I'm just saying the shot is there. He's transcended. I mean, he's transcended. I mean, he changed the 3-point, how we look at 3-point shooters. Steph Curry changed it. But
he definitely cooking. He was cooking his brother the other day.
Oh, he sure was. He cooked him.
So, at the start of the season, I fronted on Steph Curry. I expected Steph to break down. I expected injuries to take his toll. He's getting older. You know what I mean? Like he's carrying more weight because he's bulked up a lot. You know what I mean? And to be able to, carry the team with all these other parts missing, stresses your body. It just puts stress on the body. So I was looking for him to hit a wall.
He missed some games early too, though. He got hurt. He missed some games.
Yeah, he did. But what he's been doing over the last few weeks,
it's incredible.
It's stupid.
Shit's incredible. Now, like Kay said, he's trending, right? And then with the injuries around the league that knocked all these other people out, it adds to the story, the drama. It adds to the if they can survive and make the playoffs, and they, other people get hurt, other things happen. You see what even Russ. I think that you're right, Wes. If they keep this up and the Wizards are winning, and him and Beal have a great, get great chemistry, and he keeps putting up triple doubles. I mean, he's going to 4 teams averaging a triple double. You can't front on that.
Nah, you can't.
You get to the end of the season, James Harden is hurt, KD is hurt. We'll see what happened in Denver with, Westbrook and Steph. I think both names could end up being in the conversation. I think it's too early right now, though.
Yeah, and also too, we got to remember too, another person we got to remember too, and we got to see where he ends up. Down in Dallas.
Oh, Luka.
Luka. You got to think of Luka. Depending where Dallas ends up, we gotta, you don't see a lot of Dallas playing on TV, but Luka's been doing really good. And
he has been. They on tonight. Yeah,
they on tonight against the Lakers.
The Lakers, yeah.
And tonight, AD makes his return tonight, supposedly against.
I heard.
He's gonna play a little 10 minutes. I expect Dallas to win this game.
But depending where Dallas finishes, Luka definitely is a deep consideration. I've seen, watching, they don't come on a lot, but I've been watching a lot of Dallas games, and I mean Luka totally carries that team. Totally.
Hey, tell D Parks, for the record, Hakim, you can back me on this one. I was shooting from the Pirate in Seton Hall Gym. Remember that, right? I was shooting from the Pirate.
He wasn't making it. He was just shooting from the Pirate. I was shooting from the Pirate. Bong. Bong.
When you launching from the Pirate.
I was launching from the Pirate. I used to love T. Whitaker. TJ Whitaker, the best point guard ever. Put you in the right spot every time.
Brother, T was nice with it. Yo, let me just off on a tangent right fast. You know, came from down the hill. Down the hill was known for point guards. You know what I mean? Like T, K, who else? Your brother. Okay.
Bruton, Rodney Bruton.
Right, Rodney Bruton. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, anyway, I was off on a tangent. I was just
we had a lot of dudes.
Big shout out to down the hill, no doubt.
Also, O'Coop.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Don't forget O'Coop.
Shit, man. So anyway, yeah, man. You was talking about Luka.
Yeah.
Luka in Dallas. Yeah. You know. He
put
up numbers.
Whoa. Time out. Let me back up real quick. I got you real quick. Sorry. Rest in peace. Don't forget when you say down the hill and point guard, Soup Sal.
Super Sal. Rest in peace, Super Sal.
Soup Sal.
Yes, sir. Soup Sal.
Soup Sal.
Yes, sir.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oval Park, bro.
All right. Now we can move on. We can move on. Soup Sal. I just had to get that in there. Can't forget him.
It was good. Good moment. Good moment. But Luka in Dallas, and so you know, Luka put up numbers, but it's it's like Dallas is not really threatening to do anything in the playoffs. They're not really threatening. I don't really.
What about the person who's going to win most improved player of the year? Because they're going to pigeonhole him in that box. But Julius Randle, somebody put it up there. Man, he's been having a heck of a season. And the Knicks are still. Everybody keep waiting for them to drop, but they balling, and he's doing work.
They in fifth place right now.
They in fifth, yeah. They in fifth, and it's all Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Did they move up to fourth last night by beating Atlanta?
They might have.
I think they did.
They moved up. I think they moved up to fourth.
What's up, D Parks? Where the Knicks at right now? 5 or 4, bro. Let us know. Hit us up.
He just said Julius Randle for MVP.
Yeah.
He did.
Luka complains to the refs way too much. He's just, he's definitely talented, man. He's got skills galore, no doubt.
The Knicks are fourth.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I was watching them play Atlanta last night. I thought they took sole possession of fourth by beating Atlanta last night.
They in fourth. Yep.
Yeah, but it's again, it's that leadership thing that you was talking about with Steph, with Luka. I want to see him rally the squad, lead Dallas to not just he put up numbers, no doubt, but
and they both have the same thing in common, right? They are embarrassing on defense. That's what they have in common. They embarrassing. And when you're an MVP, to me, the MVP got to be able to play on both ends. That's just how I've always been. Even when he won before, I was like, because you got to be able to stop your position. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, terrible. He's terrible on defense. Terrible.
The game is offense and defense. I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So we talked about Steph, we talked about Westbrook, we talked about Embiid, we got AD coming back tonight for 10 minutes and a couple of jump shots.
You think that's all he's gonna play?
He gonna shoot a couple of fadeaway threes and get back on the bench.
They said 10 minutes.
Yeah, they said that.
Yeah, they say like 10, 15 minutes. They're not gonna stress him. It don't really. We can't really get a true take on the Lakers till LeBron comes back.
Yeah.
It's to me that's so disappointing because we want this to be AD's team. We want him. He's the heir apparent as to who's going to be the Laker after LeBron is done or whatever happens. You want him to be that guy, but to me, he still hasn't shown that he's that guy. I wish he had Kyrie's bravado, just not the mentals. Just he just want it. He's like, what you need me to do? That's what we doing. Okay, all right.
Lakers is THT team. Hey, a lot of people wanted him. They was like, that's one person we ain't getting rid of. So I guess that's his team.
He the 2021 Kyle Kuzma. They could never let Kuzma go back in the day. Now they can't get rid of THT.
Man,
he kind of raggedy to me, but he plays hard. So
he does play very hard.
Yeah,
a lot of effort, a lot of heart. But I still haven't seen all the hype that was around him from last year. I haven't seen it translate over to this year yet. I
have. I've seen some improvement with him.
Really?
Yeah. The time because now getting a chance, because obviously you can't tell until you actually see them getting a good amount of play time out there, and he's been getting a good amount of play time, and he can get buckets. He can get buckets, and he plays hard, man. So definitely, I see what I mean, not all of what they see, but I definitely see him as a good instrumental piece to a team and to them. I see why they do like him, because it's just he's out there, like I said, playing hard. And he can get you buckets, man. He got some long arms too, man.
He does. Yeah, he does.
He does.
Yeah,
he does.
He's active. I like that he's active.
He's aggressive too, man. He's aggressive going to the bucket and everything, man. So, I mean, listen, in a developing player, I mean, he showed almost what you want to see in a developing player.
I agree.
Okay.
Well, we want to get into the meat of this conversation we talked about last week. Was we was going to take a dive into the most impressive NBA draft class. So we got Spliffy in the house for that. So all four of us can have this conversation. What's up, Spliff?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
What's happening?
What's up?
We had to get you in here on this one because I'm gonna start with I don't really want to start with number 10 because it's like 1950, so I just think that's just a waste of our energy right now. So but I'm gonna start at number 9, and you can just I'm just gonna read some of the players this is the 1970s draft, and it's like a reminiscent one right here, but it's pretty impressive. 1970.
What year was this?
1970. Okay.
1970. Okay.
Yep. So we had Bob Lanier, right? Nice. Dave Cowens.
Nice.
Calvin Murphy.
Nice.
Tiny Archibald.
Whoa, nice.
Dan Issel.
Nice.
Rudy Tomjanovich.
Nice.
Yep.
Pete Maravich.
Nice.
Wow.
And Sam Lacey. That's a pretty good group right there, right?
And Jim McMillan. Don't forget Jim McMillan.
Jim McMillan. Yes,
nice.
Jim McMillan. Yeah, Jim McMillan. Yep. So I thought that was a pretty good list to kind of.
That's very impressive. That's very impressive.
Extremely.
And all those names are guys that we saw on CBS when they had the tape delay games back in the day.
Yeah,
those are all those same players that we watched play back at that time.
Yeah, for us right there, this is the people we wanted to be.
And that how many MVPs did that year produce? Not sure.
Let me see. I think they had that listed on here. Let me see. No, they didn't.
No, they don't have it listed.
Okay.
Issel was one of the 7 Hall of Famers from this draft. So there's 7 Hall of Famers in that draft.
7 Hall of Famers, though. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good. Hey, listen, man. Just from name alone and knowing, those guys, and that's impressive. That's impressive lineup.
That's a good list. Yeah. Number 8.
Ooh,
number 8 is tight. 1998. We got Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Pierce, Vince Carter, Rashard Lewis, Antoine Jameson, Mike Bibby, Cuttino Mobley.
Okay.
And guess who the number 1 pick was that draft? Who was the number 1 pick?
The biggest bust of all time.
98?
Yeah. One of the biggest busts ever.
Probably the
biggest. That's Darko? Was Darko? That wasn't Darko.
No, that wasn't Darko. Nope. When you say the name, we're going to bug out.
Hold up. 98.
Big Country?
No.
I forgot.
The Candy Man.
Michael Olowokandi.
Clippers, right? Right. Okay.
Oh,
God. No. And I'm sure somebody went undrafted that year too. Did anybody go and make it in the league but was undrafted that came up?
They didn't mention that in this.
Okay.
They didn't mention a person that went undrafted that popped us surprise. But Michael Olowokandi came up as he was the number 1 draft pick for that draft class. And you figure when you look at that class now, you got Dirk, Paul Pierce, and Vince Carter are absolutely shoo-ins for the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
And Jameson got nothing to sniff at. I think he scored 20,000 points in the NBA. So that's pretty impressive even for him.
That dude had probably the quickest jump hook ever.
Yeah.
That jump hook that he would shoot that shot so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was crazy because he actually was the man coming out of Carolina to Vince Carter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before everybody started. And he did have a solid career. Because again, even when Vince was ascending like he was, Jameson was steady Eddie.
Yep.
Averaging 20, 10. Doing this. Yeah.
Yep.
Antoine Jameson, definitely. Yep.
He had a couple of 50-point games when he was rocking with Golden State.
Yeah.
Antoine Jameson.
He had a good career.
Now, number 7 is the 2009 draft class. This one is a special one, too. James Harden, Steph Curry, Blake Griffin, DeMar DeRozan, Jeff Teague, Taj Gibson, Darren Collison, and Ty Lawson. Those are the people that they mentioned.
They're decent.
That's a decent squad right there.
Decent.
Yeah.
Steph and James Harden obviously being the centerpiece of that draft. Yep.
But Steph ain't got no defense, so that's that.
So
yeah, but he don't need defense. He's the greatest shooter of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
1999 is the 6th best draft class. So we got Sean Marion, Elton Brand, Manu Ginobili, Jason Terry, Andre Miller, Lamar Odom, Andre Karolinko, Baron Davis, Rip Hamilton, Corey Maggette, Metta World Peace, Steve Francis, Wally Zerbiak, and James Posey. Wow. I call this the all utility guy team.
The all 6-man team.
Yeah, the all 6-man squad.
That was deep. That was a deep drive.
Yeah, that was deep.
Real deep.
Yeah. A lot of good players in that.
You said Andre Miller?
Yeah.
Andre Miller. Yep, Andre Miller. Yep.
Okay. Nice.
And he went second, didn't he?
No.
Andre Miller.
Andre Miller was
Steve
8th.
Francis was second in that draft.
Andre Miller was 8th. He was 8th. Okay.
And Jonathan Bender was in that draft too. That was like one of those high school dudes that jumped ship early. Yeah, he went to Indiana. Yeah.
Andre Karolinko was in that too.
Yeah, Karolinko. Yep, he's in
Karolinko.
there.
Yep.
Corey Maggette and Barry Davis.
Yep.
So that was a good track. That was a good class.
Yeah.
The all 6-man class. That's a good class. That is about an all 6-man squad right there. Yeah. Number 5 was 1987.
Wow.
David Robinson, Reggie Miller, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Kevin Johnson, Mark Jackson, Derek McKee, Armin Gillum, and Muggsy Bogues.
What year was this one?
87.
Yeah, we graduated high school.
Yep. 87. Yep.
It's a great year. It was a great year. Oh my
God,
that was a
good one. That was definitely a good one right there.
And Reggie Miller was the 11th pick in that draft.
Jeez.
Yep. Mark Jackson was number 18, and Reggie Lewis was number 22.
Okay.
Yep. Now the 4th best draft class was 2000.
And also, I'm looking at it. Scotty Brooks is a notable undrafted in that draft.
Oh wow, I didn't see that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scott Brooks.
Coach Scott Brooks.
Scott Brooks. 2003 is the 4th best draft class. We all know where this class is going. We got LeBron, D Wade, Chris Bosh, Carmelo, David West, Kyle Korver, Kirk Heinrich, Boris Diaw, and Zaza Pachulia. Those were the names that came popping off the list on that one. Well, I mean, come on. And Darko, that was Darko's draft right there.
Was that the biggest bust ever? Or was
he was number 2?
He went second.
Yep.
So
second. You know what? TJ, you said TJ Ford. He was in that one.
Yeah, TJ Ford was in that draft. They don't have him up here though.
Yeah, TJ Ford was in that draft. Yup. Luke Ritnour was in that draft.
Wow.
Luke Ritnour.
David West.
Yeah, I said David West. Yep.
Sasha Pavlik was in. Pavlovic was in that. Dante Jones was in that. You said Boris Diaw. Yup.
Yeah, and Zaza Pachulia. I said him.
Yup. Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick Perkins was in that in 2003.
Oh, wow.
Yes, 27th pick.
Okay.
Kendrick Perkins. Leandro Barbosa.
Okay. Was Joe Johnson in that draft?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Leandro Barbosa. Josh Howard was in that draft.
Josh Howard. Okay.
Yup. Luke Walton. Yup. 2003. Steve Blake. Steve Blake
was a good. Michael Sweetney. I remember Mike Sweetney from Georgetown.
Yup. Zaza Pachulia was in that.
Yep.
Willie Green was in that.
Yep.
Keith Bogans from Maryland. He was in
Keith Bogans.
Yup. Matt Bonner was in that. Mo Williams. Mo Williams was in that.
Williams.
2003.
Okay.
Damn,
Okay.
that's deep.
Yo, a lot. James Jones.
Yeah.
Kyle Korver.
That was a deep draft.
Yeah, that was deep.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So now we talked about who the top 3 were. That's where the conversation was going.
Give me 1 second. Let me just see. Let me see who was notable undrafted that year. Udonis Haslem.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about a career.
Who's still playing?
Still balling. 18.
Wait, he's still playing?
Yeah, he's still playing.
Yo, he's on the roster this year?
He's on the
Yeah.
roster. Oh, yeah.
He's like a player coach. He's like a player coach for Miami.
Man, that's crazy. Big shout out to Udonis Haslem.
So notable undrafted with that one, Jose Calderon.
I remember him.
Marquise Daniels.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a deep class.
Yup. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
You could as of right now, that one right there sitting is very high.
Okay. So we got to get to the top. This is the top 3 now, so we can either agree or disagree.
Okay.
1985. Top players. Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, Terry Porter, Detlef Schrempf, Chris Mullin, AC Green, Charles Oakley, Joe Dumars, Hot Rod Williams, and Ty Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you say Wayman Tisdale?
Nope, I didn't say Wayman. He was in that class too.
Wayman Tisdale, Xavier McDaniel,
X-Men.
Yup. Detlef Schrempf.
I said Detlef.
Okay. Ed Pinckney.
I didn't say him. Easy Ed was in that draft.
Yeah.
Joe Dumars.
I said Joe Dumars. Yep. Joe Dumars. Yep. I said Joe. Yep.
Bill Winnington was in that draft.
Wow.
AC Green and Terry Porter.
Got both of them.
Yep. Manute Bol.
Damn.
Yeah.
Manute Bol, nigga.
Who's
I mean, I wouldn't really put him up here as his brother, but Gerald Wilkins was in that draft too.
Chris Mullin, Gerald Wilkins. We got a couple of dream teamers on that draft.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
You got 3. You got Malone. You got
3. Ewing, Malone, and Mullin. 3.
Yeah,
that's 3 from 3 dream teamers on that class.
Now let me see if we got any notables. No, we don't. Okay.
Well, this next one is the 1996 draft class. This is the one that I thought was kind of tight. But
this one, honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is my pick for number 1.
This is what I had.
Fight for it, but this one to me is number 1.
You got Ray Allen, Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, Peja Stojakovic, Marcus Camby, Stephon Marbury, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Zorandas Ilgauskas, Jermaine O'Neal, Derek Fisher, Eric Dampier, just to name a few.
Now I'm gonna add on.
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
I'm gonna add on. Kerry Kittles.
He was 7, right?
Yeah, no, 8.
8, okay.
Kerry Kittle was in there. You said Peja Stojakovic?
Yep, I did.
Tony Delk was in that draft.
Wow.
Okay.
John Wallace.
Wow.
Walt McCartney was in that draft.
McCarty.
Yep.
Walter McCarty.
You said Derek Fisher, right?
Yeah,
Derek Fisher, yup. Jerome Williams was in that draft. Othello Harrington was in that draft.
Wow.
Moochie Norris was in that draft. Jeff McGinnis was in that draft. Malik Rose was in that draft.
Wow, he had a good career.
Yeah.
Who are the Knicks' 3 first-round draft picks? And I see Renata Witten said the Knicks had 3 first-rounders in '96. I wonder who they were.
Well,
Marcus Camby.
Camby was the first one.
Yeah, Camby was 1, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Didn't they get McCarty too in the second round?
I thought McCarty.
I know he ended up playing for Boston, but
Yeah.
I think he did get drafted by the Knicks.
The Knicks might have drafted McCarty too.
In the second round, and then I'm trying to think that third pick.
So real quick, a big one that was a notable that was undrafted that year in '96. Ben Wallace.
Wow, that's a big one.
That's right. That's right.
Ben Wallace was drafted that year.
John Wallace was drafted by the Knicks.
Yeah, John Wallace.
Camby was drafted by the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, Camby went to John Wallace because I remember watching this. They had the special on this, and when it got to the Knicks, they picked John Wallace.
Yeah.
Chucky Atkins was in this draft as well as Darvin Ham.
Wow, that's pretty deep.
Yeah,
that's deep.
But I remember that like they were showing it because they had a special on this '96 draft, and John Wallace was actually one of the ones that was invited to the actual draft, and it was in Continental, I think in Jersey, and he was one of the last ones sitting in, and they were just picking all kinds of people, and he was the only one sitting in there, and they were showing that, and he was just upset, and then it finally got to the Knicks, and the Knicks picked him.
Wow.
Yep.
And John Wallace was a good player at Syracuse too.
Yeah, he was good at Syracuse. Yep.
Yeah, he was.
So on this last one. Let's go down the entire draft, like how they were drafted.
You talking about what, 96?
84.
No, 84. 84 is
so you going to 84 as number one?
Yeah, 84 is number one.
84 is number one.
What, just because of Jordan?
Like, that's what it says. I'm just saying. It's some other people on there too.
Let's go down.
Man, come on, man. Sam Bowie kills that draft alone, man.
Can I name him? Can I name him?
Go ahead.
Michael Jordan, John Stockton, Charles Barkley.
Wait, you missed one.
Hakim Olajuwon.
There you go.
Otis Thorpe, Sam Perkins.
But hold on, Wes. Hold on. Olajuwon went 1, Bowie went 2, Jordan went 3, Sam Perkins, Charles Barkley, Melvin Turpin, Alvin Robinson, Lancaster Gordon, Otis Thorpe, Leon Wood, Kevin Willis, Tim McCormick, Jay Humphreys, Michael Cage, Terrence Stansbury, John Stockton, Jeff Turner, Vern Fleming, Bernard Thompson, Tony Campbell, Kenny Fields, Tom Sewell, Earl Jones, Michael Young.
And Jerome Kersey was in that class.
Jerome Kersey was in that draft too.
Jerome Kersey was in that draft.
Yep, he was. I got one thing to say about that draft class. Alvin Robinson was the first dude to get quadruple doubles. He was getting quadruple doubles. It was crazy. He was Magic Johnson's backcourt mate in the All-Star game for like 4 straight years. That was the backcourt in the West. Alvin Robinson and Magic.
Rick Carlisle was in that draft.
Rick Carlisle's in that draft.
Yeah.
Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dre got drafted 70.
Wow. Listen, Michael Jordan, John Stockton, and Charles Barkley, and Hakim Olajuwon right there.
Yeah. Right there. They
can have Sam Bowie. Look at those 4.
Yeah. I still it's still a fight with me with 96, man.
Yeah, I like 96.
So many people in there, man.
96 is deeper, not as thick, top heavy like 84.
Yeah, it's probably not as totally impactful as. But I think from a game changing standpoint, 96 might have been more impactful as far as a lot of the game changing that they did as a whole.
I would agree with that.
I mean, but at the same time, you could say that about 84 too. You could. It's those are 2 ridiculous classes. Actually, the last 4 were all deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2003, 84, 96.
Yeah.
And to be fair, that 85 class was nice too.
Yeah. I think they got it right though. I think in terms of the order, I think they got it right.
Wes, where'd you get that list from?
I got a Bleacher Report.
Oh, yep.
Oh, so Bleacher Report ranked 84 number 1.
Yeah.
Yep. Then 85.
And who number 2?
96.
85. Oh,
96 was number 2.
Yeah. 85 is number 3.
And where was 2003?
4.
Number 4.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I mean, long as they're around and they're like that top 5, that's how it feels though. Like with all of those things, like
yeah.
Because those 3 are definitely, and they all within the top 4. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to send a big shout out to the homie A Boogie. I know he's been missing in action for a few weeks. Good to see you back, homie. This blunt's for you.
Yeah, he right about that. I used to love some Alvin Robinson, man. he was good. He was good.
Yeah, man.
But that was pretty good. I like that call right there to get the top NBA draft classes. That was your idea, right, Spliffy?
No, that was Kay's idea. KG.
Okay. I knew it. Okay.
Yeah, because I was saying that
idea.
I was saying that I caught that special on the 96 one, so I just was like, we should just talk about it because after seeing 96, I was just like, dang, that was deep. But then I started thinking about other draft class. I was just like, yo, I know it's a good talking point would be is which one's the best one, because I know there's multiple ones that produced a bunch of great people. So definitely, man, that's dope though.
That was good. I like it.
Staying on basketball, let me ask y'all this question. I didn't tune in early. I don't know if y'all went over it, but what are y'all thoughts about how LeBron is getting basically ripped for his comments on this latest shooting?
We talked about it earlier.
We thought that once again his leadership is like second to none. He made the statement and then he owned it that he made a mistake. He retracted it. He apologized. In like no time, flat. Like he wasn't hemming and hawing. He wasn't making excuses. He put something out there that seemed to be one thing. And then when we all got different information, he pivoted. And, we gave him our respect for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the media is going to beat him up because, of course, they want to,
They just want somebody to beat up. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, also, too, like he meant, like he owned up to the fact of how they always say you press send, man. Sometimes you're not fully thinking about it, and then once you press send, it's out there.
It's too late.
But what I can say, man, is just in a moment, it's just a lot going on, and it's too much sometimes, man. And just to just see while you waiting to find out one thing, and then to see another compounded on top of that, you just emotional and you caught in a moment.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, man, we don't see or know what's going on yet with the case with the young lady, man. But at the end of the day, man, like Jack, like Dag, man, like we gotta find some better solutions, to and I understand like policing and the cops have a tough job. So I get that because you do run across some people that are threats, but we got to find some kind of ways to, to de-escalate these things without just doing that, man. Like, dang, like, yo, dang, this is a 15-year-old girl now that's dead. Like, just gone. Like, so I understand the emotions of, how he probably just saw that and thought, oh no, here we go again. But then once he figured out and saw a little more, he just had to retract it back and say, okay, I can't jump out there like that until I fully hear the story. But man, still, man, like it's just sad, man, like with all of this stuff, man, that's just going on with this stuff, man. Like we gotta find better ways to de-escalate this stuff, because I honestly have seen situations get de-escalated with people charging with knives and doing all of this, and they're not getting killed, and I'm not just, like I said, not trying to make a big thing out of it because I don't know too much of what's going on or whatever, but I have seen that. So that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation all the way around. And and as to the LeBron point, I think that he just did a great job in owning his mistake. And, I'm gonna leave it I'm gonna leave right there.
Yeah. It's just like I said, man, at the end of the day, man, I have a young daughter. She's not young. She's a young adult, but I feel for people. I feel for the family and all that, man, because it's just messed up, man.
Yeah. Did you guys see the video? Did you see the video?
Yeah.
I saw the video. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't clear, obviously like the Chauvin video, but I actually live with a police officer who retired a sergeant for years, and I have a lot of friends who are cops, so I do sympathize with them. But again, I think it's just the mentality of police officer as a whole, which finds Black people as threats. That needs to change. And again, when you start there, I think things are not as tense as another thing. Because a good point that Stephen A. made on a First Take is that you have these white offenders who's on manhunts, and when they get picked up on the way to the police station, they're getting stopping for Burger King and all of this stuff. But when an unarmed black person is called, they arrive and they're dead. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's just a matter of how, blacks are just viewed as threats off the top. And if a cop comes on the scene with that type of aggression all the time, things like this is not going to change. And again, I don't care, unless she was physically killing, the knife inside somebody, he was on the scene all of 20 seconds. So he just came up.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a little too prejudged, a little too rushed. Like I didn't personally even I'm sure he probably said it, but what about yelling freeze, stop it. And then also I gotta say too, even beyond that, what about the adults and the people or whoever is there? Like these people have to de-escalate things before the cops even come too. Like put your phones down, stop recording people fighting, and stop doing all of this. Because now when the cops do show up and something happened, you could have stopped all of this before they even got there, man. So, you gotta look at it like that as well, man. Like we can't be sitting around, especially as adults, while you got kids out there and think that it's cool that they out there just to fight and just acting wild and doing all of this for the cops to show up and somebody to get killed, man.
Yeah,
I agree.
Unfortunate all the way around.
Very unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
It's a trickle down effect, right? So, you get the wealth gap, right, leads to lack of schooling for people, lack of resources, and then people just start getting desperate in their ways. And a lot of people have issues, right? Psychological issues, and people need help. They don't have access to social workers. They don't have access to psychologists, stuff like that can even help people through. And these are all the things that people we're actually talking about in terms of our community and the gap, the wealth gap. I mean, this stuff is all part of the problem. Like these are all the things that lead to these issues. So it's just a sad situation. And like you said, Kay, with adults in the room and around, people should put their cell phones down. And I know where I grew up, there wasn't gonna be any of that stuff. I mean, because the adults put your auntie that sat in that chair in the corner and then watched everybody walk by. Every time you had a get together, everybody had an aunt that sat in the same chair and watched everybody in the room. Where you going? What you doing? What you up to? That's how it is.
I'm gonna be honest.
I
went to Hart Middle School Complex in East Orange, New Jersey. 1980 to 1983. Thank God there was no cell phones, there was no social media, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter.
All that.
Thank God, because, woo, Lord, y'all know, Cliff, okay, it. And then I went back to go teach, and I was like, oh man, okay, now I understand a little bit more now. It's crazy. You had a school with no walls. Like three big factory buildings, 600 kids up per building. You had different teams. You had A loft, B loft, but then you had different teams in the middle. Each team consisted of 4 classes. Each class is like roughly between 20 some odd to 32 kids, depending on whatever.
With that little divider between
the little divider, all the little office partition.
There's 8 classes all going on with basically with one wall down the middle of it.
So just say, Cliff, I might be in like, say, 732. That's my class, right? Cliff is in 737 or 736, right? I go,
yo,
might use the bathroom. Yeah, Mr. Green, you use the bathroom. Well, look at Cliff over like 3 different classes, like 70 different people. Nigga to nod. And we in the bathroom playing basketball.
Yo. And then, or end up down in the tunnel down there just chilling, yo.
Oh man, you had
until Mr. Asana or Mr. Lot.
Oh man,
my God, yo.
You understand? Like, I remember.
But then also too, you gotta think too, like the way that it was split up to 3 buildings, and the other people in the other buildings from a whole different area of the place, you didn't really know them at all. So by the time when you came out of school, you just was mixed in a pot with people you did not know.
Yeah. Sometimes it'd be A building versus B building.
Yeah.
So then what they did, they after they figured out that didn't work. Now, mind you, this whole thing is an experiment that they did in 72. Right?
It was a project.
It was a project.
The school version of a project.
It was a project. So they used to do lunch. They used to do lunch on the roof right before we got there. You know, we got there at 80. So lunch, they take them upstairs, and they were like, I'd never been to the roof, but there was a roof, right? And they started throwing people off the roof. So then lunch took place across the street in the annex, or you just stayed inside the cafeteria. Like it was like that.
And so then with that, and we're talking about 6th grade. So us coming from down the hill, man, that was a trek. That was a long walk.
Yeah.
That was a long walk. And I'm talking about this is everyday walking. Rain, sleet, snow, summer, no matter what the weather is.
However,
that trek.
However, KG's Pumas was always fresh.
Yeah, but you know what though? You know what though, Hottie?
He had the sweaty Pumas with the fat laces.
Hey, Hot. Funny thing is, though, Hot. I don't know if I ever told this story. My Pumas got stolen in the snake.
In the where?
No, and the snake. You know the building, the little snake building that you walk on the way to it. We called it the snake.
Oh wow.
Yo, a dude. Speaking of knives, a dude pulled a knife out on me and ran and told me run them Pumas. Yo, I had to walk all the way home, man, with no shoes on, man. Like I had to walk all the way down Park Avenue with my socks on all the way back home, yo.
Yeah. Hey, I had the Lee's pleats in the creases in the joints. Take Jim, fold my shits up, stick them in the locker, no lock. Come back, shits is gone.
Yeah,
shits is gone.
Oh yeah,
it is gone.
Yep, dude, big dude, two big dudes pulled the knife out on me up in the snake, yo. And was like, let me get those, run those, dude, run them.
He said, run those.
Look, remember when Art Williams and Rob Coles went hard to the body in the tunnel?
Oh yeah. You thought it was the early day Mike Tyson, yo. It was so real.
Can you imagine that on social media right now? That shit would be like 10 million views like this.
Yeah.
Rob Coles and Art Williams going hard to the body.
Man, I can't even picture that. Dang, Rob Cole, a big dude, yo.
Art held his own. But afterwards, he was walking around. So, I'm good. I'm good. Ribs burning. All this right here was just on fire.
Oh man,
man.
Hard to the body.
It's a blessing we have social media and iPhones and Instagram and all that stuff because we just stayed in trouble.
Man, and also too, man. Just on another note, really quick, shout out to the young lady that even caught the George Floyd thing with the cell phone. If it wasn't for that, man, like who knows where we would have been with that case, man. And I mean, she was calm enough to stay steady and keep that joint going. Good, hope, and you know, a lot of people. I always get on people with iPhones, man, because they battery always dead and they screens always cracked. You know, and the iPhone seemed like it always dying quick, but I don't know what phone she had, but that battery lasts long enough to catch that, man. And thank God, man. Because
big shout to her.
Definitely big shout to her. Who knows where we'll be as far as that case if she didn't catch that footage.
And that's the sad thing about it because, we're talking about for 400 years, just the mere accusation is enough to kill a black person. Mm-hmm. Like people don't, the larger society doesn't understand that about just the accusation is enough to kill you. And then like George Zimmerman, just the accusation, just the thought of you're a threat. I can kill you and get away with it.
Ahmaud Arbery, he was a threat and just jogging.
Just a threat. Just a threat. We can kill you. We can kill you and then go, oh, I feared. Oh, I it's just sad, man. It's sad. Thank God to her that she had the camera, so there was no doubt in anybody's mind. The narrative, like you said, Kay, earlier, the police report was all backwards. It was all wrong.
Yeah.
And here we have, 9 minutes and 29 seconds of this man, anyway. Rest in peace, George Floyd. In this particular case, we've seen some semblance of justice, and we're thankful for that, of course. But we still have such a long way to go.
Definitely.
We celebrated. It was a time for celebration, but then it's sad that we have to celebrate something like that. Like that's in America 2021. We got to do a lot better.
Yep.
So I don't know if you guys have any closing thoughts before we shut it down.
Nah.
Big shout out to everybody in the building: Aaron, Renata, D. Parks, Majid, Tasha, Derek, Izzy. What up, Iz? Everybody else in the building who joined us tonight, we appreciate you. Jamil, Will, Cuz, what up? Yeah,
one thing I do want to say real quick, man, like it's just, not obviously us on here, we cool, calm heads, man. And I just think that, us as adults and as men and just overall as adults, man, when we see these things happening out here, man, and this stuff escalating, man, we, let's all as a whole, man, let's try to de-escalate these situations before they get out of hand, man. And we can, as adults, that's our job, man. We got to, Some people sometimes tend to, say, let me mind my business. And sometimes, sometimes you should, but your gut will tell you if you should mind your business or you should not, if you're walking down the streets and you see, these 12-year-olds or whatever it may be out there, and it seemed like it could be getting out of hand, man, you can say something to try to de-escalate the situation before it gets out of hand, man. And somebody really
absolutely. Especially if it's black or brown people like us, because again, it's to the point nowadays we don't want to call the cops initially. Because you're
not especially not if it's not needed. When you got adults around that can de-escalate.
Because you don't know how that's going to go.
In this particular case, she's the one who called the police. No.
Yeah, the witnesses called. They called the cops on the cops.
Right. Supposedly, like I said, I don't know the whole, story. I don't think they put everything out yet, but supposedly she's the one that called.
Yeah, because she was getting jumped apparently, which is why she, pulled out and grabbed the knife and was just basically the two girls were supposedly threatening to jump her, and I believe the aunt called the cops. But again, I'm talking about being responsible enough to know, where you can possibly put cops in a bad position, because again, now they're just coming with itchy trigger fingers,
Yeah,
you don't want to be.
The answer isn't always call the police.
Yeah, like I said, especially when you have cooler, calmer adults in the building, man. Like why not? I just think that we can try and help to calm the situation before it gets to that point.
Yeah. Definitely we gotta be more active in young people's lives, all the way around. Like we have to engage them outside of, when these types of things happen. Like we have to engage them in ways that we can disseminate information and drop jewels on them and give them cues on how to deal with situations so they have the power to de-escalate. Because, 15, 14, we've seen it, Kay, Cliff, Wes. We've seen, like I was saying earlier, I've seen young ladies have problems just because, quote unquote, she thinks she all that.
Yeah.
And then after school, there's like a crowd of people following some girl because he say, she say, and things happen. I've seen teaching young girls get their face sliced up because, quote unquote, she thinks she all that. What happened? She thinks she all that. Be like, that's why you sliced her face up, because for whatever other deep-seated issues that people have going on in their lives that lead to these things. And that's why we have to be more active, hands-on, because children are children, and they're in their emotion. If they don't know how to think their way out of things, they're just going to be acting it in the. So yeah, you're definitely right, kid. We gotta, help these things along. Big shout out to Attica Torrance, who put up a dope post just about that, an incident he was involved in Brooklyn, where same thing, some young ladies were in a fight. One got jumped. She said, "Give me that thing." Somebody handed her a shank. She went after the girl, and he was able to grab her arm. And he said, "Young lady, you don't want to do that. And she was like, Mr. Please let me go. Please let me go. He said, young lady, listen, you don't want to do that. Like, you don't want to take it to that next level. He was able to calm her down, cooler heads prevail, and nothing happened. But even in those situations, man, like, it can go either way. Like, it can. I've seen situations where people tried to break up a fight and they ended up getting jumped.
That's what I say. Like, and it will, and most of the times that's probably what's going to happen, you know. And that's why I said some people analyze the situation and they go with their gut, you know, because if it does get like that, then you do end up walking away and just being like, you know what, I tried, you know, but I'm not going to get into that and make it worse.
Yeah,
you know, so
you got to have hood sense. You know what I mean?
That's exactly
And Officer Jack don't have hood sense. He coming up shooting. That's all he know.
Yeah, man. So, hey.
Did I tell y'all what happened out here with the Trump sign? I mean, the Biden sign. Okay, so I was going to Home Depot I live in a subdivision, and I'm driving through the subdivision trying to get to Home Depot, which is really right outside of it. So it's like a 5-minute drive from the house. So I turn out, make my first turn. I'm running down the main road, and I see a sign, and it says F Biden, right? I'm like, what, you know, like whatever. But is it a dog park and a park where people and families walk around? It was a Saturday. It was like 80 degrees. It was a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and he got this sign. So I'm like, that's just crazy because there's kids around. You know, language on the sign was, you know, F Biden. But then I look a little closer as I'm driving by. He got an assault rifle on his arm, right? This is in the neighborhood. I'm like, what the heck? So I go to Home Depot, come back out, and I come back on my block, and my neighbor was outside. I said, you would not believe this dude. And he's a brother, and he said, what? I told him what happened. He's like, yeah, we got to go find the police, right? But before we could even do that, there were 4 cop cars. We went back around the corner. We drove up. There were 4 cop cars talking to him, right? Mm-hmm. He takes his sign. He's on his cell phone. He has an assault rifle on his arm, and he walks about 50 paces the other way, back the other way. And then we talking to the cops like, what is that? Like, you know what they said, right? He has a Second Amendment right. He can carry that gun out here. That's what he can do that. That's his right? So I said, okay. So I said, message is clear. I said, so, because if I had that assault rifle, I would be in the back of the car or I might be dead because I'm a threat, right? But he can do that because that's his right. He has a Second Amendment right to do that, right? Mm-hmm. And both their eyes got really big, right? Like they didn't know who I was anyway because I rolled up like I might have been like the alderman or something like that. It might have been the feds. They didn't know who I was, but the way I rolled up, I rolled up with mad confidence, but I was mad aggressive with them, like, and they were young cops. Mm-hmm. But they were all, you know, white, Asian, and Hispanic, right? So I pull off, and then I find out later that he actually got removed by one of my neighbors is a cop, and he said they actually took him in, but he said he does have the right. I was like, then we started having the dialogue about what's going on and how that looks and what it looks like to me. And he said, I totally understand it, but you know, so as soon as you say, but you don't understand it. But my point is, this is I'm in Texas, knee deep in this mess, right? This is in the subdivision. Like, these are people are around everywhere. So like, you can't, like, the things that we have to think about as Black men first, and then Black people, that they don't have to think about. Like, if I go work out at 4 or 5 in the morning, I got to worry about, okay, I got my license, I got this. Like, they just get in the car and drive to the workout, right? Mm-hmm. There's so many things going on in my mind, and that they don't, like, during my whole course of my day, when I leave my house to the time I get back home, that they have to think about at all. And they might think that's crazy, but it's just real. Like, you have to think about every little step you take from the time you walk out that door to the time you get back in, you at risk, period.
Yeah. And
yep.
The system is not on your side.
Nah.
Yeah.
But an assault rifle in the neighborhood, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday.
I mean, it's
loaded.
Hey, man, it's just like, yeah, you have a right, but you know, the optics of that doesn't look good, man. Like, you can't just be standing out there doing that. So you just standing out there now in the park, and let's say for whatever reason it goes off and hits a kid, then what?
What you got? It's a Second Amendment, right? Like it's just so it's nothing good about what he was doing. That's what I was trying to explain to the cop. I said, so what's good gonna come out of that?
Yeah,
just tell me, just explain what's good gonna come out of that.
All he's doing is threatening people.
Yeah,
that's
he's
all
a threat.
That's a threat.
He's a threat.
That's a threat. He's a threat. He's put himself out there like saying, "I'll shoot you." That's what that means.
Basically,
fuck Biden and I'll shoot you.
Exactly. Yeah. Like when you take the sign and put it all together with it, it just doesn't add up. I mean, if he was just walking around with it as his Second Amendment right, that's different. Not saying nothing, not doing nothing. But when you couple that with the sign and just standing there with all of that, it's different. It's totally different.
Protest.
Totally different.
It's just the whole look of it was just a mess. And to live in it, you're out there with your kids. There was a lot of families out there, so we knew we weren't the only people that called the police. There were 4 police cars out there, so I wasn't the only one that was all over that part of it. But just the whole visual of it all, and then what's going on, and we unarmed and we're dying, and here's a man with a gun in a residence, a private residence, and it's okay. So
it's a very threatening position he's taking.
Absolutely.
And he's not the only one. He's, just an example of a lot of people in this country who think like that. And it's scary.
Yeah, it is.
It's scary. But, I mean, we do what we do.
Yeah.
We keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
We do what we do, and we keep it moving. For sure. Yo, this is Madison Sports. This is Hakim Green. My co-host, Wes Kay Gee. Cliff. We out of here, y'all. Salute.
Go Knicks. Keep that winning streak alive.
Go Knicks.
Upper Valley crew, Renata and Craig saying what's up. Go Knicks, yo. Go Knicks.
Knicks looking all right, yo. I'm out. Knicks looking all right. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, yo.